Welcome to my storage bathroom. Wait, is that not supposed to be a thing? Please tell me I'm not alone while I dig out a rack to put seedlings on. And then I thought maybe we could talk about storage or my history with it and where I would like to get to, both with storage space and this bathroom. So where should we start? The beginning and work forwards or now and work backwards? Well, that actually might make my head explode, so let's end with now. But first, my goals. Number 1, find the rack pieces so I can get the seed starting trays up off the other bathroom counter and sink. And number 2, find the floor. This space has been cluttered, decluttered, and recluttered and not actually cleaned in a long time. So mainly with cardboard boxes, furniture storage, stuff most people would put in a linen cabinet, and storage boxes and bins. A great big thank you to Sunday Dawn over at The Helpful Home for creating Tiny Tidy Tuesday. Make sure to check out her channel and this week's playlist down below. So, where did my journey with storage start? As a kid, I was a bit of a pack rat. At least that is what I remember feeling like as a teenager. And it was in these years I started saving stuff for when I moved out, because I really wanted to do that. The only problem with that is that I moved into an established household when I finally did. So as I moved stuff into my kids' dads, it made it that much more cluttered. We wound up getting a 10 by 10 storage unit to put the excess stuff in that we accumulated. And then as Mom and I collected inventory and display, we made the inventory and collected displays for our candle business. We wound up with a 10 by 20 storage unit. And I had stuff in there that wasn't business too. So then when we split up, the stuff I had saved came out of storage spaces and into this trailer. Like mobile home trailer. Not all of it, just the household stuff. And I moved into a 980 square foot trailer. And other than a few fabric covered upended cardboard boxes for end tables, we filled it. It was a fully functioning and surprisingly not really minimal house, even with one kid and one on the way. Much more minimalist than it is today, but what I would probably term normal. Minus the lack of TV, that was really hard to digest for a lot of people back then. Even more so when I didn't pay for cable. But as we settled in and I had my daughter, I also started having health issues. We got sick the week after we moved with some sort of flu. And my son got better, but I would lose one symptom and pick up another over the few weeks and months after that. And as my health got worse and I dealt with postpartum depression issues on top of it, stuff kind of became a cocoon. Mom would come babysit and get everything picked up, and it was right back to a mess a few days later. And then my mom passed away. She'd had cancer for a couple years, so I'm glad she was out of pain. But my already tight finances met the storage problems I hadn't really faced after the breakup, in that I now had a 10 by 20 storage unit to pay for. Mom had been. And stuff coming in as Dad and my brother started going through the house in preparation for a personal property auction and move. So this was over a span of time, like a couple of years. But at one point I found myself with stuff in 2 self-storage places, 2 trailers, and my parents' house. Not intentionally, mind you. Just because moving a house out of a house meant I missed stuff. And so I wound up consolidating the unit with my ex into the unit with Mom. Then tried to downsize that one to a 10 by 10 storage unit near me. The others had been half an hour away. The one with Mom was 45 minutes away, and inconvenient to say the least. I tried to buy a house. I don't know why, but I guess this was also in the period of time I realized that I got anxious in large spaces like my living room and kitchen that were combined. Like, it's a trailer thing. Anyway, so I tried to buy a house, but to do that, I needed to sell my trailer, and that meant, clearing it out a bit. to get the financing. Anyway, I filled another storage unit, and I think even, I filled the one I had, and then I think I even got another one for a minute. I graduated college, moved the storage units into the other bedroom at home, and bought a camper, and proceeded to start using it for storage of anything I could see as prepping type items that I might need just in case, camping stuff, and essentially a full kitchen worth of stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, I did start decluttering the year after, or the year before Mom died, actually. Back when we were trying to do Fly Lady together. Now, I will say, canning in a camper, like an RV camper, was my best canning year. Everything was always at my fingertips. I loved that. And that really kind of pushed a bit towards my wanting to live in a small space. But anyway, so I had started decluttering before Mom died. And so stuff was leaving, but even as I sorted through stuff, I was also still bringing stuff in. And somewhere in here, I went from having a storage shower in the bathroom we currently use to having a leak issue in the storage bathroom, which wasn't a storage bathroom back then. But it caused me to reverse them. And pretty soon this started looking like, well, this. Only worse, most of the time. I do have a 6x8 storage shed, and we have always been able to put the mower in it, although we used to have to fold the handle down to get it in. And last year, when I got rid of the trailer, I had pretty well cleaned the stuff out of it that I had put in it. It all came home and went in either the house or the shed, and it did not get stuck in the kids' rooms, which they had by then. When I moved the stuff out of the storage room, it came back to my room, so they would have their space. If you are wondering what happened to the storage that was in there, it came back here. It essentially filled up a good quarter to half of my room at the time, which wasn't much better than it had been. But I basically had been going through it one box at a time. One doom box at a time. The last miscellaneous box went away, I believe, last summer, but it may have been the summer before. My timing since the crud has kind of been a bit distorted. Anyway, so here we are, back at present day, and I can confidently tell you that the cheapest storage is the store. Affordable storage is the storage in your own home, and an easy storage solution is to let the thrift store hold it between the time you declutter it and need it again. And no, I don't regularly shop at thrift stores, but even the stuff I donated to my local library's library of things, I haven't borrowed. So what do I want this bathroom to be? I promised I would tell you, and I didn't lie. I would like to see it turn into a workroom. The rack will likely go over the top of the toilet, and then hopefully we will have some of this plywood left over from the kitchen counters, and I can put counters in this bathroom. A door I can shut and cut out patterns without a cat to help. And space for seedlings without covering the bathroom counter in the bathroom we use every day. So that is what I'm hoping this will turn into. I will see you guys next week.